Your brain is about to go through changes you never knew were happening. 16 hours. That's all it takes. After you stop eating, your brain's fuel source switches. Your neurons start firing differently. Neurotransmitters shift. And something wild happens to your memory and mood. In the next few minutes, we're breaking down the 10 most fascinating ways your brain chemistry transforms after 16 hours of fasting. And trust us, number 1 is going to blow your mind. Coming in at 10, your brain starts producing more adenosine. After about 16 hours without food, your adenosine levels begin climbing. Adenosine is a neurotransmitter that builds up naturally throughout the day and makes you feel sleepy. But here's the twist, it's not just about tiredness. Adenosine plays a role in how your brain processes information and manages energy. Think of it like a dimmer switch on your brain's activity level. As adenosine accumulates during fasting, it actually helps your brain enter a more relaxed state. This isn't always bad. That calm, focused feeling people report during fasting? Partly adenosine at work. It signals to your brain that it's time to slow down and conserve energy. Coming in at 9, ghrelin, the hunger hormone, paradoxically becomes stable. Most people assume ghrelin skyrockets after 16 hours without food, sending desperate hunger signals. But the reality is more nuanced. Ghrelin does spike at your normal meal times initially. But after 16 hours, if you've consistently fasted at the same time, your ghrelin levels actually stabilize and even drop. Your brain learns the pattern. Research shows that people who fast regularly experience fewer intense hunger spikes than you'd expect. It's like your brain stops begging for food once it understands the schedule. This is why experienced fasters often report that hunger becomes almost non-existent by hour 16. Coming in at 8, your GABA levels increase. GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, is your brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. In plain English, it's the chemical that tells your brain to chill out. When you fast for 16 hours, your GABA production ramps up. This is one of the reasons fasting can feel so calming. Higher GABA means less anxiety, less racing thoughts, and a sense of mental peace. Your nervous system shifts from sympathetic, that fight-or-flight mode, toward parasympathetic activation. That's why monks and spiritual practitioners have used fasting for centuries. They weren't just being disciplined. They were chemically inducing calm. Modern neuroscience now proves they were onto something real. Coming in at 7, insulin levels drop dramatically. After 16 hours of fasting, your insulin has plummeted to some of the lowest levels your body experiences. Insulin isn't just about blood sugar. It's a signaling molecule that affects nearly every cell in your brain. When insulin drops, your neurons become more sensitive to other signals. Your dopamine receptors become more responsive. Your brain's ability to process reward and motivation actually sharpens. Think of high insulin as noise drowning out your brain's signal. Lower insulin clears that noise. This is partly why people often feel sharper, more focused, and more driven during extended fasts. Your brain signal-to-noise ratio improves. Coming in at 6 is norepinephrine surges. After around 16 hours, your body recognizes energy is scarce, so it triggers the sympathetic nervous system in a controlled way. This increases norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter linked to alertness and focus. Norepinephrine sharpens attention, increases heart rate slightly, and improves memory formation. It's your brain's natural focus drug. This is why some people report laser-like concentration during fasts. Athletes and performers have long known about this. A 16-hour fast can enhance mental clarity in ways caffeine alone cannot. Your pupils dilate, your awareness heightens, and your ability to concentrate deepens. It's not anxiety or panic. It's controlled, purposeful alertness. Coming in at 5, serotonin levels stabilize. Here's something counterintuitive: fasting actually stabilizes your serotonin, your mood and well-being neurotransmitter. Most people think not eating would crash mood. But the brain doesn't work that way. When you fast, your body reduces stress from constant digestion and blood sugar roller coasters. This actually lets serotonin function more smoothly. The reduced inflammatory state from fasting means less cortisol interference. And tryptophan, the amino acid that builds serotonin, becomes more available to cross the blood-brain barrier. People report mood elevation during fasts not because they're hallucinating. It's because their fundamental neurochemistry is genuinely more balanced. Coming in at 4, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, begins increasing significantly. BDNF is like fertilizer for your brain. It promotes the growth of new neurons and strengthens existing neural connections. This is the biological foundation of learning and memory. Studies show that fasting increases BDNF production, especially in the hippocampus, your brain's memory center. After 16 hours, BDNF levels start climbing measurably. This is why fasting paired with learning or challenging activities creates a supercharged learning environment. Your brain is literally becoming more plastic, more capable of change and growth. This isn't metaphorical. Your neurons are physically restructuring themselves at the molecular level. Coming in at 3, autophagy activates in your brain cells. Autophagy is cellular self-cleaning. Your cells start breaking down damaged components and recycling them. Think of it as your brain's internal garbage collection service. After 16 hours of fasting, brain cells activate this cleanup process more aggressively. This includes clearing out misfolded proteins linked to neurodegenerative diseases. Your glial cells, the support cells in your brain, become more active at this task. Damaged mitochondria get removed. Cellular debris gets eliminated. This is one reason fasting is being studied for brain health and longevity. You're not just resting your digestive system. You're initiating a deep cleaning of your brain at the cellular level. Coming in at 2, ketone bodies flood your brain as your primary fuel. Here's where the real transformation happens. After roughly 16 hours, your liver depletes its glycogen stores and switches to producing ketones from fat. Ketones are an alternative fuel source for your brain. And they're more efficient than glucose. Your brain prefers glucose normally, but ketones actually generate more ATP, the energy currency of cells, per molecule. Beyond energy, ketones act as signaling molecules. They reduce inflammation in the brain. They increase BDNF, and coming in at 1, the fact that changes everything, your brain's glutamate and GABA balance shifts toward protective neuroprotection. This is the kingpin change. Glutamate is your brain's primary excitatory neurotransmitter. In excess, it literally excites neurons to death, a process called excitotoxicity. This is involved in Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and every neurodegenerative disease. After 16 hours of fasting, your brain's glutamate levels moderate while GABA increases. The ratio between these two chemicals moves toward safety. Your brain becomes less vulnerable to excitotoxic damage. You're not just feeling good. You're actually protecting your brain against long-term neurological decline. Fasting creates a biochemical environment where your neurons are defended, calm, and functioning optimally. This single shift might explain why cultures practicing fasting report such profound effects on clarity and longevity. You're not imagining it. Your brain is literally becoming more protected. 16 hours. That's when your brain truly transforms. If this blew your mind, smash that like button. Subscribe for more science that explains why you feel the way you do. And drop a comment. Have you tried fasting? What changes did you notice in your brain? We read every single one.